Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Roger Hoover, glad to be with you inside the Advantage Center, our podcast studio at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'm pleased to be joined by Christabel Ezumah of the Crimson Tide women's basketball team as we're just past the halfway point of SEC women's basketball. Can you believe that we're now into February, March Madness right around the corner?
Yeah, it's crazy. The season is actually kind of flown by pretty fast, but it's going slow at the same time. So it's like, but we're here now. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun season for this group. How have you seen your team manage the ups and downs the season has brought?
I feel like as a team, when we had challenges, we faced them, but we also, the next game, we really improved and learned from our mistakes. And I feel like that's a very important thing to do as a team as a whole.
It certainly is, and a lot of that is thanks to leadership by upperclassmen like you, the coaching staff, who've been some of the vocal voices in the room, making sure this team stays on the same page.
I think a lot of our leaders, too, Sarah Ashley Barker, she's really vocal, and I was like, dang, when I got here, I said, she's really vocal and loud, but she also wants us to succeed, so I feel like that's something that she hones on every single day at practice, and she kind of leads us as a whole. Carly, Aaliyah, Zay, they all speak up. G always talks. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. She always talks during practice, and it's amazing, really.
That's really good to see. And for you, you get to spend this graduate year with the Alabama Crimson Tide after starting your career at Campbell. We'll go through your entire career journey in a moment. But just to start, how much fun have you enjoyed getting to play in the SEC and get to represent Alabama this year?
It's actually quite an experience. It's something that I've always wanted to do as a kid, is play in the SEC and experience all, because, this is, they say, the best conference. So, good competition, great players in and out. Each day is a game, and I really love the challenge and the experience.
And, of course, you've gotten to play on the road in some great venues. At home, what has the fan sport meant to you here in Tuscaloosa?
Everybody's so caring and loud. Every single game, before the game, we high five everybody. After the game, we give high fives. It's really loving environment, and you can tell that the fans really care and support.
Oh, that's really good to see. All right, now time to dive into your full journey. First of all, where are you from? How'd you get into basketball?
I'm from Sugar Hill, Georgia. I got into basketball. I was in the third grade. At first, I was doing ballet, but my parents were like, we could play some sports. So I did basketball, and I had to stop ballet because I was walking on my toes. So then basketball just kind of became my thing. I would play it all the time, be on all the teams with my friends, and it would just be fun in general. Like, basketball is really just a fun thing for me to do. So, yeah.
When did you start having a growth spurt? When did you become the tallest player on the floor?
I think I've always been tall my whole life, but I haven't been the tallest, but I really think it was like from elementary school, I've always been the tallest throughout high school. Like, that's just been a thing. Then I got to college and then I wasn't the tallest anymore. So, yeah.
Were there some favorite basketball players you had growing up, either college or pro?
Yeah, growing up, I really liked watching Asia Wilson, especially when she was in college. LeBron James, he's always been my favorite, still my favorite to this day. I know there's a debate that he's the GOAT, but I think he is. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, what was your reaction to the trade on Saturday?
Oh, it was actually crazy. I was so shocked. Everybody was calling my phone. We were like, yeah, they just got traded. And I felt so bad because I know that they didn't plan that or think about that happening. So, yeah.
Fun to keep up with as the season goes along. And then for you, you mentioned your basketball journey. High school, you're still one of the tallest out there, and you get to play in the Atlanta area in high school basketball, where we see every SEC roster loaded with players from Atlanta. Yeah. Did that help make you better going up against good competition?
Yeah, I really think the competition in Atlanta is a lot. Like, I played against girls like Raven Johnson. She was in the Atlanta area. Other players like Olivia Nelson Odada, she was in my region, and like now she's in WNBA. So we've had like a lot of good players in the Atlanta area, and I feel like that really shaped everything. So yeah.
It really did. And again, you got to compete against a lot of good players, but your team was also very good at winning a 6A state championship. What made that run memorable?
Honestly, it was really my whole team as a whole, and my coach, my high school coach, Coach Slater. He's an amazing coach. In his first year here that he came, we won a state championship, and all my teammates, we played together for years since we were like fifth graders. So it was really easy for us to connect and click, and I really think having a coach believe in us helped us to get to where we wanted to go.
Were you starting to get some college attention already at that point?
Yes, when he came, once we won the state championship, it was more like all the colleges came pouring in, and it was like, dang, this is exciting, because I didn't think this was like a thing that was happening, so I didn't think it was real. But colleges were there during AAU, but after the championship, more started coming.
And more started coming, including Campbell, which ended up being your
Yes.
pick. What allowed them to separate from everyone else at that time?
Campbell was really, it was during COVID, so really it was a hard decision because a lot of coaches were being fired. And one thing I've seen about Campbell was that everybody was still together. Their coaching staff was together and they had a plan and exactly what they wanted for me as a player. And I really loved that about them. And I actually didn't get to visit the campus before I committed. I just kind of committed blindly and trusted that I believed in the coaches and what they were saying. And everything turned out great. So, yes, and I love them to this day. My coaches, Coach Fisher, Coach Macon Hall, I love all of them. They're the best.
Did they have a good presentation for you, or were you going on like Google Maps a lot, seeing where the dorm would be, where your classes, the basketball area, and all that stuff?
Yes, on Zoom, they had a whole PowerPoint and they had like the maps. They had a video of like the campus and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool because, no one's ever done that before. So this was like sort of a thing for me because we couldn't go on visits, but they did a good job of showing me what everything was around there. So, yeah.
That's really cool. And you get to play for Campbell, which has one of the most unique mascots in all
Yes.
college athletics. Fighting camels. What were a few of the fun camel things that you guys did to kind of incorporate that into your program?
Yeah, the fighting camels, when I first heard about it, I was like, camels? But we used to say like roll humps. Wednesday is a big thing because it's hump day. So we would do a hump day as well. My teammates were really funny with the mascots, of course, too. We had a actual camel mascot, and there was like a real life camel there too.
Really?
At football games would be a real life camel, which was hilarious. But yeah.
You have some pictures with it?
I don't think I have a picture with the real life camel, but I'm sure I can find one of a picture. So yeah.
Oh, that's really good. And that's a good level, too, to get on the court for the first time, kind of hone your game. What are you most proud of when you look back at your years with the Camels?
Really, I'm most proud of everything that I've done as a player and as a team and growing as a player. I feel like when I first started playing basketball, it was more just something that's fun, but now it's like a passion for me. And I do feel like also growing my teammates, I met a lot of amazing people on my team and I just love them to death. And I feel like as a person, I grew as a leader too. And that's kind of the most important thing for me as well.
So when your senior season wrapped up, did you think that maybe would be it for your college career, or were you hoping to have a fifth year like this?
When my season was wrapping up, I knew that I was going to have a fifth year just because we had COVID and there was that little gap. So I was excited to explore my new opportunities and things that I can go past. And also because when my season was wrapping up, I also wanted to think, okay, I do want to go play pro and I do want to achieve these goals. So what else could I do to accomplish that?
And then your name goes in the transfer portal, and you eventually signed with the Crimson Tide. But what can you tell us about that window when you were in the transfer portal and Alabama reached out?
Yeah, the window, it was really crazy because as soon as I entered the transfer portal, it was kind of overwhelming. And I didn't expect so many people to come all at me at once. So I was really trying to talk with my parents and my coaches and my teammates and be like, okay, what's the best fit for me? What feels like home? What feels like family? And my coaches told me, don't just go to a place that you will play basketball at, but go to a place that you'll have a connection with for the rest of your life and people that that you'll love dearly and that will care about you. And I really think that's kind of what drew me towards Alabama as well.
How quickly did Coach Christie and the staff get in touch with you?
I feel like it was pretty quick because they kept calling my AAU coach and he would call me and be like, hey, it's Alabama. And I'd be like, okay. And he'd be like, hey, it's Alabama. I'm like, okay. He's like, the head coach is calling me. I'm like, okay. So then I guess kind of, gave, and I was like, okay, let me talk to the head coach. Let me talk to them and see what's up with Alabama, because I never really thought of Alabama as a basketball school, which was it's surprising to me because it's football, I'm from Georgia, so it's a big football rivalry with Georgia. So yeah.
Well, that's really good. And what stood out to you when you did get to talk to Coach Curry the first time?
I think really her passion, and I felt like she was really genuine on the phone. A lot of coaches, they always preach about the basketball or what they can do in this, but she really felt like she knew me as a person. Like she really wanted to accomplish my goals that I wanted. I felt like that was something that was really important.
Now, you didn't get to travel to Campbell and take a look at the university before you signed. Did you get a chance to come here before you made your decision?
Yes, I got to take a visit here, have the whole experience, and it was nice. It was overwhelming because Alabama is a big school compared to Campbell, so seeing everything was like, whoa. And the stadium is huge, so it was quite an experience.
That's really good. So Alabama was a fit for you athletically with the basketball. How about academically?
Yes, Alabama, when I would talk to the advisors, I really wanted to get my master's done and accomplish my other classes. So I was like, okay, what masters can I get in 1 year that I can graduate with, so I don't just waste this 1 year. And they had an exact program for me that I wanted. So I'm doing business management, I believe, is my master's. And I really want to incorporate the business piece into my undergrad because I have a focus in pre-med for my undergrad. And I would wanted to bunch the two together. So yeah, it's the overachiever.
That's really good. And you mentioned where you want to play professionally after this is done, but then once the basketball career is over, what do you think you would do with those degrees?
I would love to go back to medical school and become an anesthesiologist. That's one of my career dreams. So yes.
That's very nice. That is a very good plan for you to have. So again, great decision coming to Alabama. How'd you start to get incorporated into this team? Who made you feel welcome from the start?
Well, as soon as I came in, it was because I'm really much of a shy person, so it's hard for me to open up to people. But really, it was everybody on the team just kind of spoke to me, talked to me. And then on away games, I would room with Zay Green. So we would just be talking. We're both transfers, so we're just talking to each other and relating and stuff. But also G, she's with my position, so we always talk a lot during workouts. And she just really made me feel comfortable. She's really outgoing a lot, so she brings out the outgoingness in me. And I feel like that's a good thing. So really all my teammates, I love them all. They all came to me equally, and it was quite a thing.
Yeah, we'll let you brag on your teammates for a second, especially in your position group. You mentioned Gianna Cunningham, more minutes for her this year. What do you see from her on the floor?
She's a shooter. Like, some people don't think post players can shoot, but G can shoot the ball. And people don't think that, but that's one of her strengths that she has. She plays hard every single possession. She hustles for everything. And I really love seeing that from her.
And then how about Essence Cody, just coming off a great game this past Sunday against Georgia?
Essence she's good. She's tough. I'm not going to lie. Essence is tough, and she's strong, and she doesn't give up. So when she makes a mistake, she'll keep going. And she'll never give up on a play, and I love that about her. She hustles for everything. She tries her hardest, and she puts her all on the floor.
Did you guys battle a lot in fall practice in the post? Yeah.
Yes, Essence will say that I'm strong. I think she's strong, but she'll be like, dang, CV, you're strong. And I'm like, Essence, you're strong too, girl. Come on. So, yeah, we always had battles and competitions between all of us, but it's fun. Overall, it's really fun.
That's good. And this is kind of a veteran Alabama team, especially the players that get a lot of minutes, but you do have 3 freshmen on this roster. How have you guys tried to bring them along and introduce them to college basketball?
Yes, the 3 freshmen, Chloe, Leah, and Eris. I love them all. They're so cute. Eris, she can get a bucket. She jumps really high, and she could dunk the ball, in case y'all didn't know that. Chloe, she's really good as well. She has handles. She can get to the basket, shoot the ball, do whatever. Same with Leah. She loves her little jump shot. She's really good. I feel like we really brought them in, and they're learning too. They're young. They're learning everything, but I feel like they're picking up on things very quickly, which is good.
That really is good to see, because now we're getting to a very important part of the season. You've seen Alabama play well, win on the road, protect the home floor as well. Just as we navigate these next few weeks, especially a lot of road games coming up, what's going to be most important for this team?
I really think the most important is sticking together and playing together as one. Even if we're going down or we're losing by a little bit, we need to realize, okay, guys, we got to dig out the hole and come back. Play together and just keep our heads up and stay positive and play hard every single possession.
That's really good to see. And has your family, now that you're playing a little bit closer to home, they've been able to come to a lot of games this year?
Yes, they have been able to come and they've been able to watch it on TV, and my cousins and everybody, and they love supporting. So yes, shout out to them.
That's certainly good. So again, a fun time coming up. What do you hope this summer looks like for you once basketball season's done?
This summer, I really hope to hopefully go play pro overseas. That would be something that's really fun. And then also get into my career life. So find some, side hustles. I want to get into real estate. I want to own properties. So yeah. Again,
med school later on.
Yeah, overachiever,
You're taking over the world. We like that.
Yes, so that's me.
Well, that's cool. That's got to be exciting because, I'm good friends with Richard Hendricks, who's played a lot overseas, and, he played in a lot of different countries. You got to be excited for that kind of experience. Yeah. You may not know where exactly you're going to go yet, but you're going to see so much of the world coming up.
Yes. I think that's something fun. I do want to travel the world, so that'll be a great way to travel.
That's certainly good. Well, it's been exciting to watch you play for the Crimson Tide this year, Christabel. Just thank you for all the time you've given us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We look forward to seeing you back at Coleman. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.